Let's face it, there's a brutal truth no one is telling you. Women don't want a man who chases them. They want a man they have to chase. They desire a guy who commands respect without even saying a word. The moment you start chasing her, you're placing yourself below her, and once she senses that shift, the attraction fades. But if you flip the script, show her you're not playing by her rules, she'll come crawling back to you. Today, I'm going to teach you how to do exactly that. It's time to change the power dynamic and make her fight to be in your life. We've all been fed the same lie, that the more effort you put in, the more she'll love you. But in reality, the harder you try, the faster she runs away. Think about it. How many times have you seen guys overextend themselves, planning fancy dates, texting constantly, buying gifts, only to have the girl pull back? It's because the more you give, the less she values you. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you truly wanted something that was handed to you for free? The chase is what makes something valuable. And in the same way, when you stop chasing her, you become a challenge again, a prize worth fighting for. This is your chance to change the entire dynamic. Let's dive right in. Why women lose interest. The first thing we need to address is understanding why women lose interest. Why does she pull back in the first place? It's not random. Women don't just pull away for no reason. It's all about power dynamics. When a woman feels like she has too much control in a relationship, the attraction fades. It's not necessarily a conscious decision on her part. It's just how humans work. If she feels like she's got you on a leash, she'll get bored, and eventually she'll start looking elsewhere. The harsh reality is that people don't value what comes too easily. It's human nature, and in relationships, it's no different. If you've been too available, too eager to please, or too quick to respond, you've already lost some of your value in her eyes. Think about it. When she knows you're always going to pick up the phone, always going to be there for her, she stops appreciating your presence. She starts taking you for granted. And the moment she feels like she doesn't need to work for your attention, she'll pull back. Women test men constantly, often without even realizing it. These tests come in the form of pulling back, acting cold, or becoming distant. It's her way of seeing how much control she has over you. If you start chasing her, blowing up her phone, or trying to fix things, you're telling her that she's in charge, that she can dictate the terms of the relationship. And that's exactly when she loses attraction. Maybe you've been dating for a few months, and she starts taking longer to reply to your texts. At first you shrug it off, but after a while, it's clear she's pulling away. Your instinct tells you to fix it, to send a thoughtful text, or maybe surprise her with something sweet. But here's what you need to understand. The moment you give her that validation, you lose even more ground. It's not about fixing things on the surface. It's about resetting the power dynamic entirely. Emotional detachment. Now that you understand why she's pulling back, it's time to introduce the most powerful tool in your arsenal: emotional detachment. When you pull back emotionally, you create space for her to miss you. The minute you stop caring so much, she will start caring more. And this isn't about playing games, it's about regaining your power and commanding respect without saying a word. Emotional detachment is a game changer. Most guys fail here because they think showing less interest will make them lose the girl for good. But here's the paradox. The moment you stop being available, stop caring about every little thing she does, and stop seeking her validation, you become attractive again. Think about the last time you desperately wanted something you couldn't have, whether it was a job, a deal, or even attention from someone. That feeling of wanting it more just because it was out of reach. That's what happens to her when you pull back. You need to act like you're completely unbothered by her pulling away. No texts, no calls, no checking her Instagram stories. You become a ghost. Why? because your silence speaks louder than any words. The minute she feels your absence, she starts thinking about you again. She starts wondering if she made a mistake, if you're seeing someone else, if you've moved on. And that's when the tables turn. In today's world, people are more connected than ever. Social media, texting, FaceTime. It's hard to go a day without knowing what someone's doing. But that's why emotional detachment works so well. When you're not reacting to her posts, not engaging with her updates, she starts to feel your absence in a way that's impossible to ignore. Avoiding common mistakes. Most guys blow it by panicking when they don't hear from her. They start making mistakes, sending a text, commenting on her Instagram post, asking mutual friends about her. These might seem like small moves, but each one of them destroys your chances of getting her back. Most guys can't handle the silence. They think, I'll just send one message to check in. But here's the truth. That one message is enough to blow the entire plan. Why? Because the moment you reach out, you've shown her that you're still thinking about her, that she's still in control. And once she knows that, you've lost the upper hand. Let's say she posts a picture of herself looking amazing on Instagram, maybe even a little provocative. Your instinct might be to like the photo, maybe even drop a comment or DM her about how great she looks. But guess what? That's exactly what she wants. She's fishing for your attention, and by giving it to her, you're validating her behavior. You're showing her that you're still hooked. The worst part? When you engage with her on social media, you give her the validation she needs without having to work for it. She gets to feel desired and wanted, all without actually putting in the effort to earn your attention back. That's why you need to ignore it all. No likes, no comments, no DMS. Let her wonder why you haven't noticed. Let her miss you. No contact, why silence works. Now we're getting into one of the most effective strategies, the no contact rule. This is where you go completely silent. No texts, no calls, no checking in. You disappear from her life entirely. And this is what flips the switch in her mind. No contact is psychological warfare. Women are used to men who can't handle the silence. They expect you to chase, to reach out, to keep the conversation going. But when you don't do any of that, it disrupts their entire sense of control. Suddenly, she's not the one in power anymore. You are. She starts wondering what happened. Did you lose interest? Are you seeing someone else? And this fear of losing you drives her crazy. For the next 30 days, you are a ghost. You don't text her, call her, or interact with her in any way. Not even a hey, just checking in message. And trust me, this will be the hardest part. Most guys can't handle the idea of complete silence. They get impatient, thinking, what if she moves on? But here's the reality. The longer you stay silent, the more she'll miss you. In today's world, people are used to constant connection. Everyone's texting, snapping, DMing. But when you go dark, when she can't see what you're doing, who you're with, or where you are, it creates a void. And that void is what makes her realize what she's missing. She'll start to wonder, and eventually that curiosity will turn into action. She'll reach out. How to stay focused during no contact. The biggest mistake men make during no contact is sitting around waiting for her to text. They obsess over when she's going to reach out, checking their phones every 5 minutes. But that's not what no contact is about. The point is to focus on you. While you're going no contact, you need to be improving yourself in every possible way. Hit the gym, build your business, learn new skills. This is your time to become the best version of yourself. You're not just sitting around waiting for her to come back. You're making her want to come back by becoming the kind of man she can't resist. When she finally reaches out, you don't want to be the same guy she pulled away from. You want to be a completely new version of yourself. stronger, more confident, more successful. This isn't just about making her miss you, it's about leveling up your life so that when she does come back, you're the prize. Look at some of the most successful men in the world. Many of them hit their peak after going through a major setback, a breakup, a failure, or a loss. They use that pain as fuel to become better, and that's exactly what you need to do. When she sees that you've transformed, that you've built a life that's bigger and better than before, she'll want to be a part of it. Using heartbreak as fuel. Heartbreak is painful, no doubt about it, but it's also the most powerful fuel you'll ever have. Every time you feel the urge to text her, every time you feel that sting of rejection, use it as fuel to push yourself harder. Most men waste heartbreak by wallowing in self-pity, but this is your chance to turn it into a weapon. Heartbreak doesn't have to be a moment of weakness. It can be the start of the strongest version of yourself. Turn your pain into power. Heartbreak can either destroy you or build you. The choice is yours. You can either sit around feeling sorry for yourself, replaying every conversation in your mind, stalking her on social media, wondering where you went wrong, or you can use that pain to transform into a stronger, more successful version of yourself. When she sees what you've become, she'll regret pulling away. Every time you feel that urge to reach out, every time you feel the pain of losing her, remind yourself this is a pivotal moment. This is the point where most men give up. But you're not most men. Remind yourself you're better than that. You're not going to crumble under this. Instead, you're going to build yourself up. Use that pain as motivation to hit the gym harder, to work longer hours, to improve every aspect of your life. The best revenge isn't getting her back. It's becoming the man she regrets losing. And here's the truth. Women always come back. Maybe it'll take weeks, months, or even years, but they always circle back when they see you've leveled up. The goal here isn't to make her regret leaving you, though she will. The goal is to make yourself so high value that her opinions and actions no longer have the power to affect you. When you channel your heartbreak into personal growth, you don't just win her back, you win at life. Some of the most successful men in history used their pain and heartbreak as fuel to push them to greatness. Look at athletes, business moguls, and even public figures. Many faced some form of loss or rejection that catapulted them to the next level. This is your opportunity. Don't let the pain defeat you. Let it drive you to become the best version of yourself. While most men binge on Netflix or waste time chasing other women to fill the void, the winners are those who take the pain and turn it into productivity. Every hour you spend feeling sorry for yourself is an hour you could be using to improve your life. Instead of thinking about her, think about what you can do today to get one step closer to your goals. Building emotional strength. This isn't just about getting her back. It's about building emotional strength so that no woman or anyone else can ever control you again. You need to become emotionally bulletproof, unshakable and grounded in who you are as a man, because the stronger you are emotionally, the less you'll rely on external validation, and the more attractive you become to women and everyone around you. Emotional strength is the foundation of every successful relationship and every success in life. Without it, you're constantly swayed by what other people think, say, or do. When you don't have emotional strength, every little test or pullback from her feels like a personal attack. But when you're emotionally strong, you rise above it. You become the kind of man who doesn't let anyone dictate his feelings or reactions. And that's the key to long-term attraction. Women are naturally drawn to men who are in control of their emotions, who don't get rattled easily, and who stay grounded even when everything else feels unstable. You have to start practicing emotional detachment in every area of your life. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop reacting to everything. You don't let her mood swings, her silence, or even her pullbacks dictate your emotional state. You stay steady, and when you do that, something magical happens. You become the rock she can depend on. You become the man who is unshakable in the face of challenges, and that makes you irresistible. Think about the most successful men in the world. They don't get thrown off course by every little obstacle. They stay calm under pressure, and that's why they succeed. It's the same in relationships. When she tries to test you, when she pulls back or gets emotional, you stay composed. You don't react emotionally because you know your value doesn't come from her approval, it comes from within. The next time she pulls back or starts testing you, don't react. Don't blow up her phone. Don't try to fix things. Instead, stay calm, focus on yourself, and let her see that her behavior doesn't control you. This is what separates the men who win in relationships from the men who lose. Emotional strength is your shield, and once you master it, no woman will ever have power over you again. Making her miss you. Here's the secret to making her miss you. Stop giving her attention. Stop validating her. When you pull back, she'll start missing you because you're no longer available. And in a world where everyone is constantly connected, your absence will be the loudest message you can send. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. When you're always around, always available, she doesn't have the chance to miss you. But when you go silent, when you remove yourself from her life, she starts to feel that void. And that's when she'll start missing you. Women, especially in today's world, are surrounded by attention, social media likes, texts from guys, compliments and validation from everywhere. But all of that is noise. When you go silent, you break through that noise. She starts thinking, why isn't he texting me? Why isn't he liking my pictures? What's going on? That silence creates mystery, and mystery creates attraction. Imagine this scenario. You're the guy who's always reacting to her Instagram posts, liking her photos, commenting on her stories. You think you're showing interest, but in her eyes, you're just another guy trying to get her attention. But when you stop reacting, when you don't like her latest selfie, don't comment on her new post, she notices. It's human nature. The more you withhold your attention, the more valuable it becomes. Maybe she posts a story out with her friends, laughing, having fun, and she's used to you checking in with a "looks like a good time" message. But this time, you don't react. You don't watch her story. You don't like her post. In her mind, she's thinking, did I lose him? Is he seeing someone else? That uncertainty is powerful. It eats away at her. And the more she doesn't hear from you, the more she starts to miss you. If she tries to get your attention by posting thirst traps or indirect messages on social media, stay cool. Don't engage. Let her feel that you're out of reach. Your lack of reaction will drive her crazy, and she'll be thinking about you more than ever. In the era of constant communication, your silence is golden. When she realizes she can't get your attention like before, she'll be the one chasing after you, trying to figure out what changed. Remember, it's all about flipping the script. In a world where everyone is constantly connected, you stand out by being the one who isn't. When you stop showing up in her notifications, you're no longer part of the noise. Now, you're the silence she can't ignore. What to do when she finally reaches out? When she finally reaches out, stay calm and play it cool. Don't jump back into the same dynamic that caused her to pull away. This is your moment to show her that you've changed, that you're not the same guy who used to hang on her every word. Keep it short, keep it confident, and let her work for your attention. The key here is to not show her that you're overly eager. When she reaches out, she's testing the waters. Maybe she misses you, maybe she's curious, or maybe she's just looking for validation. Regardless of why she's reaching out, the worst thing you can do is respond immediately with a long emotional message. She'll see right through that and know she still has power over you. Instead, remain composed. Let her know you're doing just fine without her, and that she needs to work for your time and attention. Here's a practical example. If she sends a casual message like, "Hey, how have you been?" Don't respond right away. Give it some time. Wait a few hours, maybe even a day. When you do respond, keep it short and indifferent. "Hey, I've been good, busy with some projects. How about you?" Notice how you're not giving her any emotional leverage here. You're simply stating that you've been busy and moving forward with your life. This keeps her wondering if she still holds a place in your world. By delaying your response and keeping it brief, you're signaling to her that your life doesn't revolve around her anymore. She'll start to think, has he moved on? Is he seeing someone else? Why isn't he as interested as before? This uncertainty is what you want to create. It keeps her intrigued and makes her realize she doesn't have the same control over you as before. But here's the important part. Don't fall back into old habits after she reaches out. It's tempting to want to rekindle things quickly, especially if she seems interested again. But remember, this is about resetting the power dynamic. Let her come to you. Let her work to regain your attention. Respond when necessary, but always keep the upper hand by staying focused on your own life and goals. Let's say she asks you to meet up. This is where you need to remain cool and composed. Don't jump at the opportunity right away, and don't rearrange your schedule just to accommodate her. Instead, let her know that you're busy, but you could make time later. Something like, "I've got a lot going on this week, but maybe we can catch up next week." This response does two things. First, it shows her that you're not sitting around waiting for her to come back into your life. And second, it subtly communicates that she's not your top priority anymore. This change in dynamic is crucial. You're no longer the guy who bends over backward to please her. You're now the guy who has other things going on, and if she wants to be a part of your life, she's going to have to work for it. By doing this, you're flipping the power dynamic and making her realize that she needs to earn your attention and time. Why women always come back. At some point, if you've followed these steps, she'll come back. It might take a few weeks, a few months, or even longer, but in most cases, women come back when they see that you've leveled up. Why? Because they're drawn to value, and when they see that you're no longer putting them on a pedestal, they start to wonder if they've lost something valuable. It's human nature. People want what they can't have, and when you stop being available, you become a challenge again. But here's the twist. The goal isn't to get her back. The goal is to build yourself up to a point where you're so high value that whether she comes back or not doesn't matter anymore. You've grown, you've improved, and you've become the best version of yourself. At that point, her opinions and actions no longer have the power to affect you. When she does come back, you'll be in a position of strength. You'll be the one deciding if she's worthy of being in your life. And that's the ultimate power, to not be controlled by someone else's validation or approval. The truth is, women are attracted to men who are confident, self-assured, and in control of their own lives. When you become that man, you stop needing her validation, and ironically, that's when she'll start seeking yours. Turning heartbreak into your greatest strength. Heartbreak is one of the most painful experiences a man can go through, but it's also one of the most transformative. The pain of losing someone you cared about can either break you or make you stronger. The decision is yours. You can let heartbreak consume you, or you can use it as fuel to become the strongest version of yourself. Think about some of the most successful people in the world. Many of them went through intense periods of loss, rejection, or failure before reaching their peak. They didn't let their setbacks define them. Instead, they used their pain as motivation to push harder, to work longer, and to achieve more. That's what you need to do. Every time you feel that sting of rejection or the urge to text her, use it as fuel to push yourself further. Hit the gym harder. Focus on your career with more intensity. Learn new skills, meet new people, and expand your horizons. This is your time to build the life you've always wanted. The best part? When you emerge from this, you'll be stronger, more confident, and more successful than ever before. And when she sees that transformation, she'll regret pulling away. But by then, you'll have built a life so fulfilling and rewarding that her opinions won't matter anymore. Emotional strength, the key to long-term success. At the end of the day, all of this comes down to one thing: emotional strength. Emotional strength is the foundation of every successful relationship, every career achievement, and every personal victory. Without it, you're at the mercy of external factors: what people say, what people do, and how they make you feel. But when you build emotional strength, you become unshakable. You stop reacting to every little thing that happens around you. In relationships, emotional strength is what separates the men who win from the men who lose. Women are naturally drawn to men who are in control of their emotions, men who don't get rattled easily, who stay calm under pressure, and who don't let anyone dictate their feelings. When you become emotionally strong, you stop needing external validation. You stop seeking approval from others, and instead, you find it within yourself. This doesn't mean you become cold or indifferent. It means you become grounded. You don't let her mood swings, her silence, or her pullbacks dictate your emotional state. You stay steady, and that makes you a rock in her life, a man she can depend on. And that's what women ultimately want: a man who is emotionally strong, self-assured, and in control of his own life. So, how do you build emotional strength? It starts with practicing emotional detachment, not just in relationships, but in every area of your life. You stop reacting to everything. You stop letting external events control your internal state. You become the kind of man who remains calm and composed, no matter what's happening around you. Think about the most successful men in the world. Do they get thrown off course by every little obstacle? Number. They stay steady, they stay focused, and they keep moving forward. That's how they succeed. And that's the mindset you need to adopt in your relationships and in your life. How to make her miss you. If you want to make her miss you, the key is simple. Stop giving her your attention. Stop validating her. When you pull back and make yourself less available, you create a void in her life. And in today's world, where everyone is constantly connected, that void is powerful. Women are constantly surrounded by attention, social media likes, text messages from guys, compliments, and endless validation. But all of that is just noise. When you go silent, you break through that noise. You become the absence that she can't ignore. She'll start wondering, why isn't he texting me? Why isn't he liking my pictures? What's going on? That silence creates mystery, and mystery creates attraction. When you stop reacting to her posts, when you don't engage with her the way you used to, she'll notice. And the more you withhold your attention, the more valuable it becomes in her eyes. She'll start to wonder why you're not giving her the validation she's used to, and that's when she'll start missing you. But here's the trick. You have to stay strong. If she tries to get your attention by posting provocative pictures or sending indirect messages, don't engage. Stay cool, stay composed, and let her feel that you're out of reach. Your lack of reaction will drive her crazy. She'll start thinking about you more than ever. In an era of constant communication, your silence is golden. When she realizes she can't get your attention the way she used to, she'll start chasing after you. She'll be the one trying to figure out what changed, and that's exactly where you want to be. Conclusion. In the end, this isn't just about getting her back. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about flipping the power dynamic and taking control of your life and your relationships. When you stop chasing her, when you pull back and focus on yourself, you become a challenge again, a prize worth fighting for. And that's when the magic happens. Remember, the goal isn't to make her regret leaving you. That will happen naturally. The goal is to become so high value, so emotionally strong, and so self-assured that her actions and opinions no longer have the power to affect you. When you reach that point, you've truly won, not just in your relationship, but in life. So, take this opportunity. Use the pain of heartbreak as fuel to push yourself harder. Build emotional strength, focus on your goals, and become the man you were always meant to be. And when she does come back, and trust me, she will, you'll be in a position of power. You'll be the one deciding if she's worthy of being in your life. And that, my friend, is the ultimate victory.